Good morning and welcome back to my channel. This morning we were working on a new project. We recently finished this apartment build, and so now we are getting ready for our next apartment. This one is going to be a studio apartment, and I am excited to see what we can do. I have some of my papers picked out. I'm going to do this for one of the rooms, and I think I'm just going to do some nice blank walls, maybe a white or cream wall for the rest because it's such a small space. Like you can see in my coffee shop video, which has not gone up yet, the cabinets I built myself, and so we're going to utilize that in this studio apartment. I have markings on the floor where I have planned out where I want to put the kitchen, in the bathroom, a big bookshelf, the bed, and then a living room area. And then I'm going to also build a balcony right here. That's this here. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a bit more progress. I have this one wall completed. I have the parts cut out. I'm just gluing two together to give it a bit more stability. I've cut out the window that's going to be over the living room, and then I'm going to leave this wall blank because there's going to be kitchen cabinets here, so I don't want anything to be in the way. So I'm going to glue those together, and then I'm going to do white as the back wall because I want to be able to put up the cabinets and some pictures. Alright, made some good progress. I have the inside wall done, and I have the back wall done. Just put some nice wood paneling on that, and then onto the other side. Okie dokie, so I have the next wall done. I put this sort of gold mermaid look on the far wall because that is going to be the bathroom. And I'm going to build a little shower enclosure and a sink and a toilet there. And then I'm going to do this wall next. Loving the look of this wall. I've put a mermaid panel because that's part of the bathroom, and the other remaining side is white to match the rest of the studio. And then I've done a front door and some wood paneling, and then I've added a doorknob, a spy hole, and some hinges, and I'm loving the look. Alright, so I have made the balcony, and I do use the same wood grain as the door. I like how that makes it look. And I have attached it to the flooring. So now on to build some of the cabinets and the couches and the bookshelves, and then I'm going to do the flooring last because I drew on sort of the placement of where I want it. So when I have the furniture ready to go, then I'll apply the flooring and then the furniture. Alright, so I'm working on the shower. I have these little pieces of plexiglass from one of my previous little builds. Some of them are complete, and some of them are still a work in progress. So this is the shower pieces so far. I'm going to hot glue them to make them the right height. And then this is a little sink that I am making. So I am just going to use this as the height, and I'm going to cut this out and be able to fold it and then draw a cabinet on the front and go from there. Bookshelf I'm working on, I'm going to cut out these spots and put a little thing in to make them bookshelves that I can actually put things on, and then that's going to divide the bathroom from the bedroom. Alright, so I have made some progress on the bathroom. I have a mirror. I just need to get it glued together so it stands a bit better. And then I've made this little tray and this little piece of silver that's going to go inside. I'm going to put it in there and then draw a little drain for the sink. And then I have made, so I moved my hand, a shelf, and then that is going to be underneath for the thing. So all I did was I drew this on some paper, and then I cut it out, and I used my X-Acto knife to do the creases so that I can fold it. And then I'm going to make it the right height, and I'm going to attach the tray for the sink and then hang the mirror above it. And then we have a shower and a sink, and then just to do the toilet. Alright, so this is how the shelving unit turned out. I ended up drawing it out and then forgetting to videotape the progress, so I will explain. I drew out this square and then these couple cubes flat on the paper. Then I also drew out another space just above that, and then arms, which become the sides, and a back piece. So once that was drawn out on my big white piece of paper, then I took my non-permanent marker and traced the inside, which is going to become the shelves, and then just so that it would have it would stand out from the rest of the bookshelf. Then I also have this flooring that I used both on the door and on the porch, and I just put a strip on the front piece of each of the shelves just so it would have some dimension and not just look flat. Then the front pieces, I took my X-Acto knife and I traced out and I left this bottom edge attached, and I just used the underside, the non-sharp edge of my X-Acto knife to crease it so I could fold them down. And then I took just a regular piece of the paper and cut a backing, and with my hot glue gun I attached it to the back of the shelves so that they would have a backing. And then I just made two little side pieces, and you can see right here I just glued on that back piece and the shelving, and so it's sort of free floating within the bookshelf. And then you can see that I have built my own bookshelf. So I'm very happy with that progress. What I plan to do, where these little markings are over here, I plan to put the bookshelf here, but because I plan to put a bed here, I think what I'm going to do is I'll create the bed and then I'll attach the bookshelf so it sort of sits above the headboard. So I might do another little square below this bookshelf that doesn't have any shelves, just to give it the height that I'm looking for. So let's work on the bed next. All right. Now that we've got the flooring down, it's on to attaching this front wall, and then we're going to work on the bathroom. I did, before I put down the flooring, just take a piece of paper and trace out my floor plan so I didn't lose all my progress. I was trying to do that last, but I obviously have to have the flooring down to put the bathroom stuff in and to attach the back wall, so this is what we're going with. So I just traced out what I had underneath onto this paper, and I'll probably do that for the other one too, and now I can lay my stuff down. Okie dokie, so I have added the front wall and the other one, so I'm just going to focus in on the bathroom right now, so that's why I haven't done the second board yet. I just want to give myself some room to work. Okay, so I have the shower installed. The plexiglass I used wasn't as tall as I wanted, so I just cut off pieces that I needed and attached them with hot glue to the bottom, and then I added some more of this gold mermaid just to the bottom of the shower to A, give definition, and B, then hid the joints of the shower. So I thought that was perfect. So we're going to move on to the sink and then the toilet. All right, I just got my little sink counter done, and I love the way it turned out. So I glued in the tray with the sink and glued all the sides together, and now it's ready to go. Alright, with the sink complete, it's on to the toilet. So I have little kits that make the toilet, so I have an idea of what it should look like, but I haven't made one from scratch before. But here's my idea. So I have these sort of honeycomb looking ones that I am going to use for the base, so I'm going to put two together, and then I'm going to cut out some white and cover them, because I want it to match the rest of the bathroom. Then I have a bunch of these little squares, and I am going to build a little base for the toilet. Then I am going to use another one of these honeycombs and use it for the base of the seat. Then I have another size of the honeycomb, and I'm going to stack that on top. All of these are going to be covered in white. Then I also have these squares, which I'm going to use for the back tank of the toilet. Then I'm also going to make a little piece of sort of cardboard out of the same white cardstock to put in between the two pieces, again, which will be covered in white. And then once the I've created the toilet tank, then I will attach it with a piece of sort of the same white cardboard to hold it together. And then I'm going to use one more of these honeycombs, again covered in white, up against the tank to mimic a toilet seat cover, and I think it is going to turn out perfect. So let's get going. Alright, so this is the completed project. I feel like it turned out really good. I really like the shape of it. I could have done circular as well, but I just felt like the circular against the square tank would have looked a little different, so I really like this honeycomb look. And especially against the mermaid gold half circles, I didn't want it to be way too circular. So I also have this tiny little flusher on there, which I think just adds to it. So I'm just going to tuck it against here. Then I have a mirror I'm going to add up there, and then the bathroom should be complete. All right, so I was going to do the little bookshelf and the bed next, but I'm actually going to do the kitchen counter because it goes along that side. And since this studio apartment is so long and narrow, I don't want to try to get my arm in there afterwards. So we're going to do it now. So this is the simplistic design I've drawn out. So this is the top of the counter, this is the side, this is the back side, and this piece will go down. And if I need it to be taller, I can just add a piece on. So I am going to cut this piece out, and then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, use the non-sharp side, and just trace these lines, and then it will give me a really nice clean fold, and then we will decorate the front. All right, let's get started. All right, so I have added the drawers and drawn them on. Now I just have to decide if I want this as the countertop or if I want more of the cupboard color. I think probably this because it gives me more countertop vibes. So let me add that and then we'll cut it out. And just like that, the kitchen counter is ready to go. I'm loving the way it turned out, and now it's time to put it in. Alright, so I have installed the counter space, and now I'm just debating if I want some cabinets to hang above on the wall, or if I just want to move on to the next part. So let's see. Alright, so I've added my other wall, and it looks great. So now I think I'm just going to make a small cabinet that's going to go closer to the door above the countertop, and then I'll move on to the living room and bedroom part. Alright, so we're making good progress. I have built the bed. I haven't attached it yet because I still have a cabinet to put up over here and attach this bookshelf, but the bookshelf is going to be attached to the bed, and there's a little shelf underneath to support it. And then just past that is the bathroom. And then I've made a doorway here, so I have to attach this wall still. I have added a mirror and 3 pictures, so I will be attaching this wall next. So I'm going to do a cabinet over here and a couch over here, and then a little balcony area here. All right. Okay, so I have the cabinet ready to go. So I have cut out the top with the cabinet or the drawers and the 2 side flaps. So what I just did was I put some of the matching countertop on the top here, and I did matching drawers. Then I also glued down 2 little boards. It just gives some stability to the counter, so once it's hanging on the wall, if I decide to put anything on the top of the shelf or cabinet, then it doesn't sag in because it is cardstock. So I just find that trick helps. I'm going to glue these corners, and then it will be ready to go on the wall. Alright, I'm loving how that turned out. So I've got the counter done, and the sink done, and the upper cabinet done, and now it is on to attaching the other wall and the bed. Perfect. So I've added the beginning part of the couch. I'm just deciding if I want to make an edge on it or if I just want to add some cushions. So I am going to add some roses to the little side table there, and I'm going to add some bedding and some books on the shelf and some things in the kitchen, and then it's almost done. Okay, so I ended up adding this backing to the couch, and I really like it. I feel like it finishes it off. So now I am going to make a couple pillows for the couch and some bedding, some books for the shelf, get out the kitchen stuff, and make some roses for the little vase there. And I also have this window box to cut out and fold, and I'm going to put it in the window there, and I'm going to build some roses for that, and then this build will be complete. Alright, so we have the bedding done. We have a nice blanket and a pillow. I have roses for the side table made. I also have roses in the window box outside. I still want to make some cushions for this couch and put the kitchen stuff on the counters, and also some books and a little ornament for these bookshelves. Okay, so I have a bunch of little books made for the shelf. I have these ones down here, and then I have these ones that I've already stacked together. I'm just going to see how many more I need to make, and maybe even put a little flower arrangement up there. Alright, so I have the books completed and on their shelf. I made some little cushions for the couch, and I also added 2 little books on the end of the couch. I think I might add a little decoration beside the books on the shelf, but otherwise, this build is complete, and I am loving how the studio apartment turned out. And the studio apartment is complete. I am loving how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and if you like this content, feel free to hit like and subscribe to see more. Thank you.